present in the courtroom.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kelly Ford is on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
Okay.
Afternoon, Larry Tipton on behalf of Mr. Walsh.
Thank you.
Attorney Krosky Jr. on behalf of Mr. De Los Santos.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Here's my speech on behalf of Mr. King and Mr. Johnson, who is here, and I expect in the courtrum momentarily, Judge.
And I see Mr. Cataldo on Zoom.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Joseph Cattell on behalf of Bianca Chancio.
Okay, let's just give it a minute until the two defendants in custody get into the courtroom.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, yes.
Okay.
I did get some stuff in that decision.
Yeah.
It's just a special.
Ms. Portis, Mr. Tipton, do you folks have a trial date?
We have an October 27th.
27.
It's
Contingent now, I understand.
Contingent.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson, Mr. De Los Santos are now present. We just had the lawyers introduce themselves, but beyond that, we didn't do any business before you folks got into the courtroom. So, Ms. Beatty, what's the current status?
I'm able to report that I believe that we have an agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and that after our review, there are materials that we would like to produce in discovery that requires Judge Casper to act. And it's my understanding that they have or will be moving for that disclosure, permission for that disclosure in front of Judge Casper. Other than that, I can't give you an update on the timing, but certainly this office and the U.S. Attorney's Office are anxious to resolve this sooner rather than later. And so I'd ask for another week or two.
Okay.
Your Honor, I feel like this is just the same argument that we have every single
It's
time.
not the same argument. They're making progress. We're making progress. In a couple of weeks, hopefully, this will be fully resolved.
I understand, Judge.
With an approval, with an order from Judge Casper authorizing the U.S. Attorney's Office to authorize the DA's office to turn over what they believe to be exculpatory evidence.
Understood, Judge. My concern is that it's the 7th of October. A couple of weeks is going to bring us right up against that 20th destruction date. I'm not due to come back here until the 23rd on a bail argument for Mr. Johnson. So I don't know what that does to the destruction order. When I had a conversation with the Commonwealth this morning, I asked them whether or not they were going to seek additional time, because I'm very concerned about the destruction order, and they indicated they didn't think they needed it. But if they're asking for 2 weeks, Judge, it's right up against the 20th, and I don't know what we do about that.
What do you think we do about that? Pretty basic.
I've consistently reported to the court and counsel that we will not destroy or return prior to coming back before this court. So we can come back to court on the 17th, but I think it makes more sense to come back on the 20th. But either is fine with me.
Judge, I can't be here on the 20th. I'm starting a trial. Well, I'm on trial in Suffolk right now, in front of Judge Halal, so I won't be available on the 20th. We think this case will probably go to the jury on the 22nd or the morning of the 23rd, and we're already back here on the 23rd. But I don't want to hold anyone else up. Everyone else somebody can stand in for me, I'm assuming. I'm just worried about the 20th.
I'm here on the 20th, Judge, if I might, so I could certainly stand in and represent the extent that I can our interests regarding this issue. I also am calendared for the 23rd, so I can be here on both dates, but the 20th, I think, coincides with the date of the order, so I think it makes sense to bump my date from the 23rd to the 20th so that we have someone here on that day.
That makes sense. Put it up for the 20th?
It would have to be at 2 because the sentence appeals are in the morning.
Okay. 2 would be fine.
I'm here at 2 on that day.
Okay. And that's a week before Walsh is supposed to begin, at least contingently.
And Judge, I'm here on the 23rd on the bail issue for Mr. Johnson.
Okay. We'll see you on the 20th. Well, in this session on the 23rd?
I think it's going to go before you.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if it goes before you or anybody else. It doesn't.
I just have to leave here probably a little bit before 3 on the 23rd to get to a class I have to teach that afternoon. And I believe we intentionally stick with very few things on the afternoon of the 23rd. Let's just make sure that the 23rd is okay.
And I'll keep the court updated if for any reason my trial runs over than
Okay.
what I thought it was going to be.
Hang on one sec, we'll just check the 23rd. Okay, so we'll put all of the cases on for the 20th at 2. And Mr. Krosky, you'll work at, Mr. Cataldo, does that work for you?
It does, Your Honor. I'm asking for the 20th at 2 and ask that my client's appearance be waived. And it's my understanding that the 23rd for Chianchio will be off. We'll do that on the 20th?
Neither of those cases are scheduled for the 23rd.
It was a bail argument for Mr. Johnson. I think that might have been.
23rd,
We have 4
we have 4 matters and they're all quite manageable before 3 o'clock. We can put a bail argument on for the 23rd.
I thought was that the date we picked? Yeah, I thought that was the date we picked last time we were in front of you, Judge.
Okay, may just not have made it on the mass courts.
And I don't want to interrupt, well, I guess I'm interrupting, but I just want to make sure because I want to slot Mr. De Los Santos in too. I don't know if it's already made mass courts, but I know we drafted motions for discovery and a bail motion. If they haven't been served yet, they will be served probably by the end of the week. I'm happy to do it on the 20th. Or I'm also happy to come back the 23rd, be here both days that week.
I am not going to hear it on the 20th. I am trying to keep the 20th clear from
Sure.
a trial, full day of trial on that day. So if it takes 10 minutes to address these issues with regard to the Proctor discovery, that's fine. But if it's going to be a full-blown bail hearing, we're going to have to pick another day. And the 23rd is going to get clustered, and cumbersome if we're going to hear a bail argument and the other 4 matters that are on. So we'll need to pick another date for hearings on the other cases.
So I think
Who's
Johnson,
the prosecutor with respect to De Los Santos, Mr. De Los Santos?
That's me, Your Honor.
Okay.
and they're co-defendants with Johnson and De Los Santos.
Okay.
So I'll be here on the 20th to make sure that there's representation related to the Proctor discovery, and then you want me to pick a different date for the bail and discovery motions.
Right.
Okay.
And you don't even know if they've been filed, so.
If they haven't been, they will be
Okay.
shortly.
I've not received anything.
Okay.
And I'm going to be on trial until at least.
Maybe the 20th, right. So how about the 24th?
I can be here 2 o'clock on the 24th.
Attorney Scapicio, could you put Johnson on for the afternoon of the 24th?
Can I just check, Judge? Only because I'm starting another trial in Suffolk on November 3rd, and I don't know if that's the final pretrial. So, October 24th?
Yep.
I can, actually, Judge, because a motion for evidence hearing, a motion for new trial in front of Judge Campo just moved yesterday.
Okay,
So
so you
yes.
can do the 24th. All right.
Yes.
So we'll put both Mr. Johnson and Mr. De Los Santos on for a hearing on the 24th at 2. Ms. Blair will be done with her trial by then.
Hopefully I'll be done with mine.
Hopefully. And
Hopefully I'll be done with mine, and in
we'll be done with
between.
yours, and I'll see Mr. Krosky and anybody else who can attend on the 20th in the afternoon with regard to Proctor discovery.
And may Mr. Johnson be brought in on the 20th, just so that he knows what's going on, even though I'm not going to be here?
I think the answer is yes, it can be done.
Thank you.
But I wonder if it makes sense just to have him brought in on the 24th, since he'll be fully up to speed by the 24th.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right. His presence will be waived on the 20th. We will not bring him in, and we'll bring him in on the 24th. Mr. De Los Santos, too. It might probably make sense to do the same with Mr. De Los Santos.
We would waive his appearance on the 20th. I'll be here. He'll come in on the 24th.
Fine. Okay.
Good.
Very good. Anything else?
Your Honor,
There's one
Your Honor,
matter.
if I-
Go ahead, Attorney Beatty. Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt Mr. Cataldo.
Mr. Cataldo,
I just wanted to be clear about Chianchio next date.
her presence is waived on the 20th.
Okay, thank you.
We have one lingering issue with regard to Mr. King.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a GPS monitoring with regard to the curfew. He left his home to go to the hospital.
Yes,
Is that it?
With probation's permission, Judge.
and his address.
So Judge, they issued a warrant for Mr. King because I can say, Judge, that his probation officer was not working the day that she was actually off that day, but she was communicating.
Hang on one second, okay? There was a violation of GPS curfew, leaving the house without prior, without having gotten it to us. Is there another issue?
No, we understand there was a miscommunication, and we're not moving forward on that. The only issue is that there's a change in address, and we want to make sure that the record is clear about where the defendant is living and who he is living with, because there's a house
So I
arrest.
believe he gave that information to probation before he even left. They gave him permission to move, so they have his address. And Judge, just so the record is clear, I know you have a jury, I'm not going to take time, but just so the record is clear, the allegation was that Mr. King did not contact anyone before he left. In fact, he was in communication with his probation officer who was out that day. That's why the probation officers here didn't know that he had called, because she was working from home because she felt bad for Mr. King because he was sick.
All right. Does probation have Mr. King's current address?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kia Brantley for probation. Yes, probation does have his current
Great.
address.
Okay,
Thank you, Ron.
thank you. We'll see everybody on the 20th, or some of you on the 20th,
That
and
motion
some
is
on the
withdrawn.
24th. I'm not sure
Revocation.
what motion you're talking about. There was a notice of violation. I didn't see a motion to revoke.
Oh, I thought
There was no motion filed.
Thank you.
Your Honor, thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.